I wanted to share with you this morning as I walk back to my screen. It'll be a little fashion show. Fashion that you've seen me talking about on my Instagram and Facebook. Will Yoga for Beer, they're in. And they're super cute and fun. I feel like it might be more of less of a wear during yoga and more of a wear to walk around while you're trick-or-treating or just look cute in it. It's like a cute shirt, like wear with jeans or I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to dress you guys, but it's not super long like the tank tops. So if you like long, it's not super long, but it's super cute and very comfortable. And those are available on my website, eatyogadrink.com. And let me just pull up my clock so I can keep time this morning. I'm Erin. I don't think anyone's new to practicing with us this morning, but if anyone snuck in while I walked over to the mat, welcome. We're going to just flow today. We're not going to think too much about what we're going to do. We're going to bring in, we heard lower back inversion, someone put it to their neck seated position. Start in your Sukhasana. Remember that Sukha is that ease, that softness that you invite into your body. So do what you need to do to make this shape feel comfortable for you, feel soft. So maybe that means inviting your blanket or blocks underneath the knees. Maybe it's softer for you to bring the soles of the feet together and have the knees splay open. It's up to you how you'd like to sit. Traditionally in a Sukhasana, you don't have any crossing of the ankles. Your shins are parallel, but you get to do what you want to do. You get to do what works for you. All right, I love it. I see Lisa moving and adjusting, and just once you arrive, maybe roll through the shoulders a little bit. Maybe take some head rolls. Make sure the jaw is not clenching. Nothing to fear here on our yoga mat. We get to be curious. We get to be compassionate. We get to just explore without any expectations. So we're not trying to fulfill anything today. We're just trying to arrive and see what is, so we can celebrate our bodies and our hearts. And then try to find stillness once you've wiggled your way there. This is where we invite this tira, the steadfastness, the steadiness, the solidity into the body. Feeling where we can root through the sit bones. Feeling the spine proudly lift. Melting the shoulders down away from the ears. Soften into the jaw. Invite a sense of presence right here, right now. Maybe you notice the temperature in the room or any ambient sounds surrounding you. Maybe there's some odors wafting from the kitchen. Notice the presence of breath within you. You can feel the way the body makes room for the breath, expanding to accommodate those full lungs and contracting as the air leaves. Sometimes that's all you need to disconnect from a stressful thought or a challenging moment in your life. It's just finding a place where you can be still so you can feel the way the breath comes and goes. It's that simple. As long as you feel the breath coming and going, you know you're safe. And you can rest assured that everything's going to be okay. Bring one hand to your heart, maybe both hands. Offering compassionate touch. And begin to craft your intention for the practice. And maybe you woke up and you were really acutely aware of it already as soon as your eyes opened to the world. Maybe you've been holding it close to your heart ever since, or maybe this is the first time you're thinking about it today. What is your why? What's inspiring you today? What would you like to hold close to your breath, close to your heart? What would you like to feel in your body as we practice today? Let's take 3 cleansing breaths together, just filling up your space and our community with that breath of togetherness. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Big breath in. Full breath go. Last one. Breathe in. Release. And then take a few breaths with that same forcefulness, that same presence of breath, but seal the lips and breathe in and out through the nose and start to invite the Ujjayi breath that lives predominantly in the whisper muscles of the throat. It begins and ends in the lungs and in the diaphragm. It's really present in the breath in the way that it creates this rhythm, this warmth in the body. So imagine that you are fogging a mirror, but then seal the lips and create that same sensation with the breath coming in and out of the nose. And keep that going while you remove any blocks. Take your legs and cross them in the other direction if they are indeed crossed. Just notice how it feels. From here, we're going to take our hands to our knees and make some circles into the neck once again. Nice, slow, deliberate circles, exploring the entire range of motion through the cervical spine. And if you hit upon a spot that's really sticky or tight, just kind of hang there for a second and breathe into it. You could move in the opposite direction. All right, interlace your hands, bring them behind the head as the head tucks down toward the chest. Try to widen through the elbows and give a little resistance, head into palms. Keep the shoulders stacked over the ribs, ribs over hips. Take another breath. Feel shoulder blades start to open up a little bit. And then take your right hand onto the head. Extend your left arm right out to the side of you like you're pushing a wall away. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder and then slowly start to lower that left arm down to the earth. Or leave it out. If you get more sensation with it lifted, keep it there. You can start to lower it. Breathe in. Nourish those little pockets of tightness this morning. Nice. From here, take that left arm around. Look for the right hip crease. The right arm is going to go over to the left knee, and we're going to take a spinal twist. So every twist begins with lengthening. Lift through the crown of the head. Twist deeper into your spine. Big breath in. Full breath out. Nice. One more. Maybe look over that left shoulder. And then let's arrive back into center. Hands on the knees. This time start to make some big circles into the trunk of your body. Maybe exaggerating the flexion and extension of the spine, pressing forward, drawing back. Acquainting yourself with how the hips are feeling this morning. Move in the other direction. All right, we're going to come back to center. Left hand to the head, drawing the left ear to the left shoulder. Right hand presses away from you. And then maybe slowly start to release the right palm down to the earth. Keeping the spine nice and tall, but not rigid. Making sure the breath can easily flow through the body. One more breath. Wrap that right arm around, looking for the left hip crease, left hand over to the right knee. Find your spinal twist. Beautiful. One more breath. All right, and we're going to come back to center. Take a big breath in. Let's take a crescent over to the left side. Inhale back to center. Crescent over to the right. Come right back into center. Go ahead and release your left leg out from captivity. So coming into sort of a tree leg. And we're going to take revolved head to knee. So your left hand can take a bind onto your right foot. Right arm reaches up and over. And then maybe bring that hand behind the head, pressing the palm back into the head into palm once again. If you'd rather take a full bind, reaching that arm over, looking for the left foot, that works as well. Keep trying to draw the rib cage open, maybe spinning through that right rib cage just slightly. Rooting through that right hip. One more breath. And then let's come on up to center. Rotate over that extended leg. Traditional head to knee now. Big breath in. And exhale, start to bow down. And just listen to your body. Respect the physical limits of your body. If you notice any injury, if it's tightness, just keep maybe pulsing a little bit. Breathing in to the pockets of tightness so that they respond by softening. One more breath. Nice. Come all the way up. Let's transfer the legs. So bring the left leg in, right leg extends. We're going to take a revolved head to knee first. So take a bind. If you have a strap, you can also strap onto that right foot. Left arm up to the sky. Bring the hand behind your head. Nice. And open up as you crescent over. Nice, Pat. Really creating space in that left side body. Good job, Jen. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Beautiful. Rise up. Release the bind. Rotate the trunk so you're facing the leg. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, bow, hinging at the hips. Maybe the knee comes to the nose. Maybe you're feeling stiff as a board, and that's okay too. Just honor where you are. Breathe into that space. All right, come right on back up to center. We're going to cross both ankles and roll to a table position. Rooting down through the palms and the knees and the tops of the feet, and take yourself wherever you want to go. So if you want, you can also take the knees a little wider and make some really big circles into the hips. That feels good into your adductors. You can also take a nice wide-legged cow in cat shape. Just give yourself whatever you need right now into the body. Some of us are feeling tight in the lower back. Some of us feel tighter in the neck, some in the hips. So just sort of free range it for a few breaths. Take 2 more breaths, trying to even out your movements. And then we'll find our way to downward facing dog. So you got this. If anyone snuck on whom I don't know, if anyone's new to the practice, just go ahead and let me know. I'm happy to offer a little bit more cueing if you're new. Otherwise, just let yourself arrive in your downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out through the heels a little bit, awakening the legs. Notice how the breath changes in your inversion. There was a request from Juliana for some inversion, so we can bring those in today. But it's important to be able to breathe comfortably when you're upside down. So this is an inversion. Just notice how it feels. Did you instinctively shift the weight into more in the palms or more into the feet? Just try to smooth out that distribution a little bit, making it feel really even. And then tip the tailbone high to the sky. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. On the next inhale, come forward into your high plank. Just make sure the shoulders are over the wrists. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Do that a few more times. Inhale forward, nice high plank, flat back. A little bit of roundness up in the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips are high. We're going to do that once more. Inhale, shift forward. Strong through the core. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Waking up the shoulders. This time, inhale forward. I'm going to drop my knees. You can keep yours up if you want. We're going to lower chaturanga. Bringing the chest to the earth. Inhale, lift the heart up. And exhale, lower. Let's spread those arms and get into the shoulders a little bit. Arms are wide. Come to spider fingers and tent the elbows just a little bit. If you can't see my arms, someone let me know. As you inhale, peel the heart up. Feel the shoulder blades really melt down the back. And as you exhale, dip the right shoulder down to the earth. Look over the left shoulder. Yeah. Inhale, peel the heart back up. Exhale, dip the left shoulder down. So we're starting to get some thoracic twisting here. You're also going to feel strengthening into your lower back, Miss Kathleen. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down. Inhale, back up. Try to relax the neck. No tension in the neck or the jaw. Twist to the right. All right, we're going to come right back here. Send those arms out in front of you. Gaze straight down and just start to flutter a little bit. Some super women. I don't know if we have any guys who signed in. I didn't see any guy names, so we're super women today, all of us.
Sherpa.
Oh, right. Yoga Sherpa's practicing with me. I'm talking about online. You said you were going to be silent. All of a sudden, Sherpa's talking. All right. All right. From here, we're going to bring our hands right back to our ribs and start to press up, looking for a cobra. Maybe it feels good. Maybe you're open enough to straighten the arms, but don't push it if you're not feeling it today. Keep the elbows bent. Be really gentle. Yeah, nice. Big breath in. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. I'm going to come up and take a peek, see who's here. I thought that was you, Deborah. Beautiful. And Lee. Good morning, Lee. And Kelly. All right. So from downward facing dog, walk the feet to the hands. Take a nice slow journey. Feel the heaviness. Again, this is an inversion. Getting the heart above the head. Anytime you do that, notice how the hamstrings are feeling. Start to invite them into the practice maybe by bending and straightening them a little bit. And then on the next inhale, we're going to rise all the way to standing. So start to peel the body up. Take your time. Don't rush. Yeah. All the way up. Reach up. Look right between the thumbs. And exhale. Let's melt back into a fold. Just feel that sort of unpeeling, unveiling. Halfway lift. Flat back. And exhale. Fold. Inhale. Rise up. Take your time. Feel the vertebrae stack. Feel the energy lift. Feel the whole breath expanding into the body. And exhale, let it go. I promise we'll speed it up in a bit. Halfway lift and fold. Let's do that one more time. Really feel yourself unpeeling, opening, flourishing, and let it go. Nice. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands. Step one foot, then the other. Come back into your high plank. Take your chaturanga. So really notice the elbows as you bend them, you're really getting into the triceps there. If you're feeling your biceps activate, you want to draw the elbows in more to the body. Inhale, peel up. Send your arms through your arms. Send your chest through your biceps here. Just take time. We're just taking time to lay the foundation so that we don't fall into any unhealthy habits of alignment and such. So draw the heart forward, shoulders, just soften the shoulders just a little bit right there. Back to downward facing dog and feel the core really initiate that lift of the hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Bend the knee. Feel the hip open here. So stack the hips. Try to keep the shoulders square to the earth. We're just opening up into that right side hip here. If it feels better for you to make circles or movement into that joint, go for it. That's what joints are for. They are built for movement. Take another big breath. All right, from here, we're going to step the right foot between the hands, come into a low lunge, and just give yourself a little chance to pulse so you can feel the opening of the hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Step the left foot to join, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, melt. Halfway lift, nice long spine. Plant the hand, step the left foot back. So same side, low lunge. We're going to take a twist. So keep the left palm where it is. Lift the right arm up. So actively hug the right knee into the midline. Actively squeeze into the muscles of the left leg as you press back into the heel. And see if you can twist open through your spine here. One more big breath. Nice. Bring the hands down. We're going to send that right leg back up to the sky. That's our three-legged dog. So feel the thigh inwardly rotating, heel straight up to the sky. Take a big breath. And then release that right leg down. Back to downward facing dog. Tune into sensations of the body. Notice how things may feel different on one side than the other. All right, on the inhale, left heel high. And then bend the left knee. Open up that hip. Either a static stretch or make it dynamic if you want to move. As you are here, upside down, make sure the shoulders are not hunched up toward the ears. You're really pressing the shoulders away. One more big breath. Nice. And then step the left foot between the hands. Find your low lunge. Little pulses, right? Maybe rocking back and forth, maybe circling around. And then step the right foot to join, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, melt back down. Halfway lift. Hands to the earth, right foot back. Arranging yourself for your twist. And if you have a block and want to tether that right hand down, that's fine. If you want to drop the knee, go for it. So squeeze into those hips, squeeze into the legs, and just rotate into the spine. Try to gaze up toward that left thumb. Yes, one more breath. And then bring that left hand down, left leg back up to the sky, three-legged dog. And really think about the positioning of that left leg. If your toes are pointing at an angle, try to rotate inward so the toes are pointing down to the earth as the heel lifts up. So you're engaging into your quad, into your hamstring there. One more breath. And release. Come back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shift forward into your high plank. Take your flow, your chaturanga, however you like it. Inhale, inhale up, maybe upward facing dog for the lower back lovers. That's a good one. Back to downward facing dog. The upward facing dog requires a lot of flexibility into your psoas, but also because you're pressing on the tops of your feet, but also a lot of core strength. So if you're not feeling super strong in your core today, then keep it in a cobra so you don't cause any problems into your back. You want to stress your back out. Take a big breath and let it go. Nice. From here, come on down to your forearms. Just taking a dolphin dog for a second. Just rocking forwards and backwards. Notice how the shoulders feel here. It's a little bit different. Keep the tailbone tipping high to the sky. Take a big breath. And then from here, come back to your downward facing dog. Look to the front of the mat. Step or hop, feet to hands. Rise all the way up. Exhale, release. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands. Step the left foot back. And we're going to come up to a high crescent lunge. All right. From high crescent lunge, bring your hands to interlace behind your back. Open up through the heart by squeezing the shoulder blades together. And see if you can challenge your balance by sinking the tailbone low but lifting the sternum high. Gaze up. Really great stretch for the chest, the rib cage, the spine, opening you up after you've been hunched over Zoom all day. Yeah, take one more big breath. And then come back into neutral spine, look forward. We're gonna take off into a bound warrior 3. So shift into the right foot. Again, lift the left heel straight up to the sky. We're not opening up that hip in any way, but support your right hamstring if you need to bend the knee. Or bend the knee if you need to support your hamstring. Yeah. Take one more big breath. Keep the leg lifted, hands released, bring them to the earth, maybe to a block. Coming into another inversion here. And you're welcome here to bring the hands to the ankle or bring them to the earth. And maybe if you want to practice some gentle, soft little kick-ups, getting your hips above your shoulders. If you're working on a handstand prep. Keep breathing into your inversion, shifting your perspective. Can be really relaxing to your nervous system too. Take one more breath. And then bring the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Nice. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Halfway lift. Nice long spine. Send the tailbone back. Plant the hands. Step back. Take your flow. Not rushing. You're feeling everything. You're breathing into everything. Back to downward facing dog. All right, we're going to come back down to that dolphin dog. So hips stay high. Come down onto your forearms. Really actively pressing the palms and the forearms into the earth. And if you want, you can start to play around a little bit more with dolphin, walking the toes toward your face. Ideally, you can also walk back into a forearm plank. So you can walk forwards, coming into your dolphin. You can walk back into a dolphin plank, or you can stay right in dolphin dog. 2 more breaths. Ideally, your head is lifted from the earth. All right, from here, make your way back to downward facing dog. Make sure you're breathing. When the going gets tough, the tough stops breathing. And that's when we really need the breath the most. On the inhale, look forward. Can't remember how we got there, but I remember what we did once we were there. So we're going to step forward, forward fold. I know I'm missing something. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth. Right foot steps back this time. Offering the steadiness, this wide lunge shape. Rise up. Bring your hands to bind behind your back. Maybe you do something different. Maybe you do a reverse namaste or take opposite elbows. or just interlace them in a different weave. Yeah. All right, keep sinking the tailbone, keep firing up the musculature of the legs to support the joints and the bones, and open up your heart. And if you're feeling wobbly in that left leg, really ground down through the big toe and the heel. You're breathing. Filled with your intention, presence. You are here for yourself. One more breath. All right, start to look forward. Shift into the left foot. Begin to grow your warrior three with a bind. If the bind isn't working for you and you feel more safe, sending your arms out like an airplane, go for it. Keeping that right leg internally rotated, heel up, toes down. Spine is long, gaze is steady. One more breath. Yes, hands to the earth. Standing split, coming into another inversion. Your chance to, play around. If you want to play around with your handstands, just getting some little kicks, trying to get some air, trusting the shift of the weight. Maybe it makes you feel, maybe it makes you feel better to have a wall behind you or something. Nice, Radhika. Wherever you are, it's where you belong. Your instincts and intuition will guide you to do what feels right here. Breathe. One more breath. All right, step the right to meet the left. Forward fold. Rise all the way up. Exhale, back down. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, hop or step. Take your flow. Your practice, your way. Making your way back to downward facing dog. Yes. Breathe. And let the breath go. Beautiful. On the inhale, send that right leg high. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Open the hip once again. And invite yourself into a flip dog if you'd like. Once you flip and land the right foot, pivot on the ball of the left foot so that your feet are going to be wide, but they're going to be in line with one another. And then you can safely rise back up. So once you rise, and use the beginning of a wheel pose. If you want to bring your right arm down to a wheel, go for it. Really big opening into the hips, to the heart. One more breath. Look where you're going so you can start to rotate safely back to three-legged dog. And then send the right foot between the hands. Rotate your back foot down, warrior two footing, and then rise up. All right, hair's everywhere. Anyone else have crazy hair today? Woo, crazy hair. All right, from here, we're going to bring our hands to interlace behind the back. And we're going to try to bring our wrists over, or that palm, that clasping of the hands over to our left hip. All right. And still sink into that right thigh, that right lunge, and see if you can start to reverse. Offer a little crescent shape. So you want to kind of draw your left shoulder down towards your left heel. You'll feel a really nice pull, not a safe stretch, I should say, right through your right hip. It's also opening up your shoulder. Yes, one more breath. And then keep the arms bound. We're going to now bring that right shoulder inside of the right knee. This is our 3/4 bind, like a chicken wing. So try to bend into that right knee a little bit more, Sherpa. Draw your shoulders back so they're in line with your hips. Twist. See if you can look up above the left shoulder. Yeah, one more breath. All right, from here, we're going to rise back up. Release the bind back to warrior two. Come into a nice 5-pointed star power pose. Reclaiming your personal strength here, your presence. Taking up space because you're worthy. One more breath. Begin to dive down. So here we are in another inversion. If you've been playing around with your tripod headstand, I'll walk you through it right now. Your shoulders are ready, your core is ready. So if you'd like, widen the stance so you can get the crown of the head onto the earth. Your hands are rooted underneath the shoulders. Palms are really active because you're going to need them to press away from the earth so you're not collapsing into your cervical spine. And maybe rock onto the crown of the head. If you want to play around with tripod headstands, you can bring the knees up toward the triceps like this, sort of like a crow pose, but with the crown of the head down to the earth. All right, that's step one. Or you can start to hug the navel in really tightly and start to extend the legs up toward the sky. But make sure you're not collapsing into your head. You're lifting up through the belly, through the thighs. If you feel really tight or compressed in the neck, come down immediately. Yeah, just getting that wide-legged fold, giving the chance for the nervous system to soften and relax a little bit. If your legs are up, you can stay there as long as you'd like, or you can begin to float them down safely, as gracefully as you came up. Nice. Back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands right to your hips. Nice flat back. And then rise all the way back up. Yeah, turn those right toes to the front. Back to your warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot and step back, taking your flow. You got it. Beautiful. All right, left side on the inhale, left heel to the sky, three-legged dog. And then bend the knee, then open the hip, and then flippity flip. Be mindful of any household items that are around you or pets or kids. Making sure the toe mounds are parallel. Really breathe into where the body needs opening here. One more breath. And then look, palm, hip, leg, back to your three-legged dog. Step the left foot between the thumbs. Melt the right heel down. Rise up, warrior two. All right, bring the hands to interlace behind the back. Bring that connection over to your right hip this time. And try to open up through the left side body. You can let the right ear fall toward the right shoulder, but do that in a way that doesn't lift the right shoulder up. Just think about melting it so you're opening up the left neck. Check in with your breathing. Maybe you still have your Ujjayi breath. One more breath. All right, bring that bind all the way over to the left side now, bringing the left elbow inside the left knee and rotate open through the right rib cage. If you notice the left knee tipping in toward the big toe side of the foot, lean it back toward the pinky edge of the foot. Feel the opening here through the ribs, through the side body, through your heart. One more breath. And release. We're going to come up, straighten the leg, arrive right here into our five-pointed star. We're going to take a standing camel. So bring your hands to support your lower back. If it feels good for your wrists, fingers down. If you want a really deep wrist stretch, fingers up. Draw the elbows together, slight lift of the sternum, and then squeeze into your glutes and thighs as you press your pubis forward, press your belly up. If it feels comfortable for you to let your head fall back, go for it. It's really big opening into your throat chakra here. Keep the breath. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades. One more big breath. And then slowly keep the hands right where they are, supporting your lower back. Slowly start to bow down. Place your left palm on the sacrum, right palm down to the earth, and we're going to twist to the left. So hips are stable. Again, just looking for a twist through the spine to support the lower back and the thoracic spine. You get a nice stretch into the neck here, strengthening the neck a little bit here. Breathe in. Twist a little deeper. Come back into center. Right hand now goes where the left was, right on the sacrum, keeping it rooted so the hips are stable. Left palm under the nose. Extend through the spine and then rotate to the right. There's always a little bit more extension we can offer, crown to head. Crown to tail rather, and then rotate. Noticing breath. One more breath. All right, from here, bring the hands both down, just decompress. Let the neck shake, let the shoulders shake, heavy. And then bring your hands to your hips. Nice halfway, flat back. Rise up, left toes forward, back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to frame the foot, step back to high plank. From high plank, back down to your forearm plank. From forearm plank, we're gonna come back to dolphin and give you all a chance if you want to play around with your forearm stand. So walk your toes towards your nose, lifting the hips above the shoulders. And maybe just lift one leg up, like a three-legged dog, but lifting that leg all the way up to the sky. Roll onto the tippy tips of the left toes, and maybe even just kick up. Just kicking the leg up a little bit. See if you can get any air. Again, it may be nice to have a wall behind you. Fun to see all those kicks. So again, your head is lifted from the earth. Your shoulders are melted away from the ears. Really getting into the shoulders. Your Pincha Mayurasana. There's a whole lot of cardio going on when you're doing those kicks. Radhika, I can feel your heart beating. All right, from here, start to bring those feet back down. Stay on your forearms and walk the feet back so you're back in a forearm plank. Drop the knees. Come into your Sphinx pose before we do it on the other side. Just a chance to get another nice spinal stretch, a little lower back stretch here. Bring your hands, if you want, to the edges of the mat. Lift up. Try to really actively draw the ribs and the sternum forward as you root through the pubis and the thighs. Shoulders soft, face is soft. Maybe face is smiling softly. Notice how things change. If you need a little bit more, you can bend the knees. Keep the hips rooted. You really start to feel it in the lower back here. If you begin to fatigue and the ears drop into the shoulders, come on down, take a rest. 2 more breaths. All right, if the legs are lifted, bring them down. Come back down to your forearms and let the elbows splay out for just a moment as you bring a cheek to the mat, rolling a little side to side, bending the knees and windshield wipering the shins. Make sure that deep breath is reaching into every single pocket of every single stretch. All right, from here, are you ready? Gonna make a little noise, a little grunting, all right? We're gonna go right back up into our forearm plank. We're gonna walk the feet forward, coming back into dolphin plank as much as you want. And then we're gonna lift the left leg to the sky. And the left leg is going to be the beginning of our forearm stand. So again, just kicking up just a little bit, getting a little bit of air, maybe just a little hang time. And we're not after any particular expectation here. We're just being in the moment to see what we can do with our bodies. Being really supportive through breath. Nice, Deborah. You guys are amazing. There comes a time when you've had enough of this. When that time arrives, nicely. When that time arrives, come into your child's pose. But don't let me rush you there. You take as much time as you want to savor the effort and invite yourself into the ease when the time is right. Because remember that yoga is all about balance. It's about rooting and rising, breathing in, breathing out. Sthira Sukha. The steadfastness and the ease, the passion and the compassion. It's just what can we welcome in to fuel these shapes, but to make them feel good at the same time. So arriving back into your intention here. All right, from here, we're going to come into a kneeling shape. We're going to take Ustrasana, camel pose. If you have a block and you want to use it to help remind you of that steadfastness of engaging through the thighs, you're welcome to put it between the thighs and squeeze it, feeling that inward rotation. We'll begin with a supported one, so bringing your hands right to your lower back once again. And again, change the positioning of the fingers if you want to challenge into the wrists. Draw the elbows together, so feel the rooting and feel the energy lifting right up across the front body, pressing the hips forward, squeezing the thighs, and open up through the heart. Make sure the breath is comfortably filling and releasing. Slightly draw the elbows together. 2 more breaths. This is camel pose, Ustrasana. All right, slowly make your way back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to take cat pose as a counter pose. So palms to the earth, or I was going to say paws to the earth. Paws to the earth, cats. And lift and round the spine, creating like a bridge shape with the ridge of your spine, chin to the chest. The pelvis under, feel the lower belly engagement. One more breath. And then slowly start to come back onto your knees. And we're going to go for one more, and we'll take a fuller expression. I'm going to cue a fuller expression, but don't go there if it's not right for you today. Maybe flex the feet, bring the toes to the earth, and you're going to reach back, and the webbing of your hand and your thumb, your pointer finger is going to come right onto your heels. So just slowly, and maybe, some people like to sort of be swimming camel, just noting the mobility of the shoulders before they commit to it. And if everything's feeling good, then go ahead and land the webbing. But if you notice that you're leaning back too far into it, then maybe that's too far for you today, because you want to keep the hips over the knees as everything presses forward and your heart lifts to the sky. 4 deep breaths. Breathing in your intention and breathing out your intention. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, soften the neck. Last one. All right. Hands to the lower back once again. Lift. Let the fingers rest onto your head like you're gripping your head. The center finger is signaling the crown of your head. So from here, I'm just going to move back a little bit so I have space. From here, we're going to come into a rabbit pose with the crown of your head. It's probably a little bit more forward than you would think, right? You're going to bring the crown of your head to the earth, lifting the hips up over the knees. And then you can reach your hands back for your shins or your heels and try to round through the spine like a cat. If you feel like it's too much pressure on the crown of your head, bring your hands to support and just round the spine this way, lifting the navel up. Now that you know where the crown of your head is, if anyone wants to play around with a classical headstand, you don't have to. If you don't want to play around with the classical headstand, I can walk you through just the beginning baby steps and just see where you're comfortable. So from here, you're on your forearms once again. Bring your fingers to interlace with the edges of the pinkies down to the earth. And bring the crown of the head back down to the earth in front of the woven fingers. So the woven fingers are just there for a little guidance, just a little support for your cervical spine. And then from here, maybe you just feel yourself, you're rooting so much into your forearms, igniting your shoulders that your head is barely touching the earth. Barely touching the earth. Start to lift the hips, coming back into that dolphin shape. And maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you don't go any further than this, but this is a challenge and it feels good. Right? If you want to take it up into a full classical headstand, I personally like to lift one leg then the other. Some people like to kind of hop into a little egg shape. I'm going to show you how it is when you just take one leg and then the other. But make sure once you arrive here, you're actively pressing into your forearms. Your shoulders are nowhere near your ears. You feel the engagement in your abs. You feel the engagement in your legs, your glutes. Really lifting up away from the earth. The shoulders are all warmed up from our practice, so use them. And if you feel uncomfortable in any way, you can't breathe, or you're feeling like your neck is hurting, come down immediately. Right? I'm going to come down just so I can check you guys out, but feel free to stay up there as long as you want. And then counter pose to that is your child's pose. Yeah, there you go. I see you. Take a few more breaths. Yeah, and if you just want to do one leg at a time, just feel how it feels to get inversions. We all have to start somewhere. All right, when you're ready to come down, if you were in a headstand, take a child's pose. For those of you who've been toying around with other things, you can start making your way onto your back. We're going to do a happy laughing baby pose. Feel free to move the head a little bit side to side as you sway from side to side. Feeling the energy of the back body draw down toward the earth. Take any final stretches here. Maybe you're in the mood for a twist. Maybe you want some more for the back and take some bridge poses. Take what you need here. Maybe another inversion that's not quite as challenging into the spine, at least, is your legs up the wall. So this is another great place to be when you're looking for a way to get upside down in a gentle way with still the same benefits to the nervous system. We're going to take 5 more breaths. Yogi playground before I guide you into Shavasana. All right, nice. Slowly, if the legs are up, slowly start to invite them down to the earth. Let's take a big starfish shape. Stretch, reaching the arms and legs in opposite directions, driving that back of the pelvic rim down to the earth so you feel the arch of the back lift up from the earth. Another really good stretch for the back body. Good opening into the heart and the ribs. One more big breath. And then let it go. Flattening the curve of the back down to the earth. Just let the earth hold you and support you. Let the body find its way into a shape that's effortless. Super filled with ease and presence. And I will awaken you in a few moments. But now it's time to rest. Share with you a poem by Victoria Erickson. You can carry a dream as you'd carry a bouquet tucked inside your ribcage, until eventually the buds will bend against your skin, struggling to breathe, choking and desperate to climb upward, needing to burst from the ache to break free. Break. Don't be afraid. Dreams are birthed by wild hearts, and wild hearts are as strong as branches are determined, and roots run strong and deep. Breathe into your body, noticing what you're holding, what has arrived or departed during your practice. Where does your wild heart want to take you today? Wherever that destination is, know you are ready. Invite movement, invite stretches into the whole body. Make your way onto one side for just a moment, pausing. And rise up to your comfortable seat, pressing the palms together in front of your wild heart. Thank you for practicing with us today. It's such an honor to have you among us. The love and the light in me honors, celebrates, grateful for the love and the light that shines in each of you all. Namaste. So thank you. Thanks for the inspiration. For those of you who offered suggestions today, Kathleen, Juliana, and anyone else who put in their requests. I'm always up for requests. If you like this, Will Yoga for Booze, check it out on eatyogadrink.com. You're welcome. And this weekend, Hillary is teaching a class out at Rocket Frog on